You've been feeling it, haven't you? That quiet hum in the background of your life that keeps growing louder. The pull in your soul that tells you something big is unfolding just beyond what you can see. You might not have the words for it yet, but something deep within you knows everything is about to change. The universe has been whispering to you in signs, dreams, nudges, and gut feelings. You haven't come this far by accident. You've been molded, shaped, and prepared. Every trial, every detour, every delay, it was all training, because now the time is near. The shift isn't just coming, it's already begun. And chosen one, you were born for this moment. Before we dive deeper, take a breath. You're not here by coincidence. This message found you because it was meant to. You've been asking for confirmation, and this is it. As you watch this video, I encourage you to stay until the end. Let the words wash over you, and if you feel called, type your warmest wishes and the number 77 in the comments below. This is not just about receiving blessings, it's about activating them. By expressing your intentions and your energy, you send a ripple into the universe. You energize the very frequency that draws miracles to you. Wishes do come true, but they require your belief and your boldness. Now let's talk about the shift. This is not some vague emotional change. This is a tangible pivot in your life path. What's coming is going to break patterns that have held you back for years. It's going to feel uncomfortable at first because the familiar will begin to crumble. But don't confuse discomfort with danger. What feels like your life being turned upside down is actually the reordering of divine alignment. You're being restructured, not ruined. You're being released from what you thought you needed to step into what you truly deserve. The old skin is shedding. The false layers are peeling away, and what remains is your truest, most powerful self, ready to rise. You might feel a surge of urgency or restlessness lately. That's your spirit sensing movement before your mind can comprehend it. You've been picking up on spiritual cues, energy shifts, and moments that feel eerily timed. That's because you're in sync with the larger rhythm of transformation. When you're chosen, you don't wait for change to happen. You become the vessel that change flows through. And because of that, your preparation was intense. Your isolation had a purpose. The detours weren't rejection, they were protection. Now, those moments are becoming fuel for the next level. You're not stepping into something small. You're stepping into a magnitude that reflects the weight of your journey. NTHE energy around you is shifting rapidly. Opportunities are aligning. People are being positioned. Timelines are collapsing so that what would have taken years may now unfold in days. You're being asked to stay ready, not in panic, but in power. This is the season where readiness means surrendering control and sharpening your intuition. When the shift arrives, it will not send you a calendar invite. It will show up suddenly, disguised as a door, a conversation, a chance. The moment you've been preparing for will look ordinary on the surface, but you'll know. Because your spirit will leap, and when it does, you must trust it. Chosen one, this isn't the time to doubt your gifts. This isn't the time to shrink. The world has already seen enough of your silent suffering and quiet endurance. This is your emergence. The massive shift will highlight your truth, and everything that is not aligned with it will fall away. People who once doubted you will either be silenced by your growth or drawn to your light. Old limitations will no longer hold you. You'll feel your energy change before anything else does. And when it does, honor it. Don't negotiate your power to make others comfortable. You've been chosen for a reason. Your voice carries frequency, Your presence shifts atmospheres. And now, the world is ready for what you carry. And as you walk into this shift, you'll need to let go of the timeline in your head. The version of success you once pictured may not be the final image. It may be bigger. It may be different. Stay open. Don't chase. Attract. Don't rush. Flow. The universe is not punishing you with delay. It's positioning you for divine precision. The longer it takes, the more intentional the unfolding. You are not behind. You are being paced. What's meant for you won't arrive in pieces. It will arrive in wholeness when you're whole enough to receive it. You're not being overlooked. You're being refined. And right now, many chosen ones are being awakened across the world. You're not alone in this. A collective rise is underway. Lightworkers, healers, visionaries, and spiritual warriors are all feeling the pull. The old systems are shaking. Structures that once seemed unbreakable are losing their grip. This isn't just a personal shift. It's a global one, and your role in it matters. That's why your calling has felt so heavy. That's why your sensitivity has increased. You've been activated, and with that activation comes responsibility. The world doesn't need more noise. It needs your clarity. It needs your light. There will be moments in this shift that will test your patience and your perspective. Doors might close just before the right ones open. People may exit your life suddenly. Your environment may feel unstable. But all of this is clearing space. Nothing is being taken from you without a purpose. If something is removed, it's because it cannot carry the weight of your destiny. You are not being punished. You're being made room for. You're shedding what was meant to be temporary. And in doing so, you're creating space for the permanent, the divine, the transformational. Stay grounded. Stay aware. Stay ready. Not ready in fear, but ready in faith. The shift will not require you to be perfect. It will require you to be aligned. You don't need to know every step. You only need to trust the next one. When you walk in that kind of trust, doors swing open, the right people appear, the timing aligns. You'll look back and see that every painful delay was really divine orchestration. You'll realize that you were never forgotten. You were being formed. And when the shift fully arrives, you'll meet it with clarity, strength, and the deep knowing that this is what you were made for. You may start to notice the subtle unraveling of what once made sense. Things you used to cling to no longer feel stable. Goals that once excited you might now feel hollow. Relationships that were once easy now feel energetically heavy. This is not a breakdown, it's a breakthrough. You're being detangled from the attachments that kept you anchored to the old version of yourself. And even though it can feel disorienting, it's actually liberation in disguise. Don't rush to replace what's leaving. Sit in the space that opens. Let the silence speak. Sometimes the emptiness is just clarity that hasn't introduced itself yet. NTHE massive shift that's coming will not look like fireworks or fanfare. It will often arrive in quiet, seemingly mundane moments. It might be a phone call you weren't expecting, a delayed response that suddenly unlocks everything, a small decision that sets a divine chain reaction in motion. This is how divine alignment works. It moves through stillness as powerfully as it does through action. Your job is to remain tuned in. Stay spiritually hydrated. Stay emotionally available. You don't have to chase the shift, it's already chasing you. All you have to do is stay receptive and watch what unfolds. NTHE, part of you that is anxious or doubtful, is the part still tied to your past limitations. But the real you, the awakened you, knows better. You know that cycles repeat until we learn. And chosen one, you have learned. You've been through the loops. You've seen the patterns. And now you're ready to close the karmic chapters that have lingered for far too long. The massive shift will be the catalyst that finally seals those old stories. Not because you hated them, but because you've outgrown them. The old you was surviving. The new you is ready to thrive. Many people won't understand what you're experiencing, and that's okay. This path is not for everyone. Not everyone is meant to see the vision you carry. And not everyone is meant to walk with you into your next chapter. Some people are part of your story, but not part of your destiny. Don't try to drag them into places their spirit hasn't matured for. When a shift arrives, it separates. Not out of cruelty, but out of necessity. You will be misunderstood. You may be questioned. But if you wait for validation, you'll miss your moment. You must be willing to obey the call, even when it costs you comfort. More massive the shift, the more intense the spiritual resistance before it. You might feel tired. You might feel like you're being pulled in different directions. You might even second-guess yourself. This is spiritual turbulence. It happens when you're crossing into new realms of alignment. But don't retreat now. You've made it too far. Don't turn around at the edge of the breakthrough. Ride the wave. Let the old you dissolve. Let the confusion refine you. Let the mystery excite you. You're not lost. You're being rerouted to something far better than you imagined. There's a divine intelligence at play in your life. You haven't always seen it, but it's been there, working in the background, shielding you from battles you didn't even know were forming, delaying you so the wrong doors would shut, pausing your plan so your character could catch up to your calling. This intelligence doesn't work by logic, it works by alignment. And now, it's aligning everything in your favor. It's like watching puzzle pieces fly through the air, only to land exactly where they're meant to. That's the power of divine timing. That's the rhythm of a chosen one's life. In this shift will not just elevate you, it will stretch you. It will ask you to take up space in places where you once stayed silent. It will challenge your inner narratives. It will call you to trust your instincts over your insecurities. This is not about changing everything externally. It's about changing the way you show up internally. Your mindset, your boundaries, your expectations, they will all be upgraded. Because you cannot carry an old mindset into a new destiny. You cannot build something divine on a foundation of doubt. So the shift will first reconstruct your inner world, so your outer world can follow. You may feel lonely during this time. That's a common phase during a spiritual shift. The universe will often isolate you so it can recalibrate you. You're not being ignored. You're being recalibrated. Sometimes your circle shrinks so your focus can sharpen. Sometimes people fall away because their presence no longer resonates with your vibration. Let it happen. Don't mourn what's fading. It served its time. And now you're being prepared for a new tribe, new alignment, new support, the kind that speaks your soul language without explanation. The kind that mirrors your growth instead of your wounds. Chosen one, your dreams are not random. They are divine previews. The visions you've had, the ones that keep coming back to you, are blueprints for the life you're meant to build. They are not hallucinations. They are instructions. They are whispers from your higher self, urging you to prepare. And now, the massive shift is clearing the path so those dreams can finally become tangible. What once felt like fantasy will now start to feel inevitable. You'll see signs everywhere. You'll have chance encounters. You'll stumble upon the exact information or person you need. Don't write it off as luck. Call it what it is. Alignment. And even when things feel chaotic, remind yourself that disruption often precedes elevation. What feels like a storm might actually be clearing debris from your path. What feels like loss might actually be divine subtraction to make room for expansion. What feels like waiting might actually be incubation. You're not stuck, you're being stored, hidden but not forgotten, paused but not denied. Your time is not running out. Your time is being orchestrated, and when it comes, it will feel like everything happened all at once. But you'll know it didn't happen suddenly. It happened when you were ready. You are not behind. You are not missing out. You are not late. You are being aligned with a frequency that doesn't obey the world's clock. It follows divine order, not man-made timelines. It's why others may seem to be ahead, while you're still waiting for your moment. But what's ahead of schedule is not always sustainable. What's rushed is not always rooted. You're being given something deeper, something long-lasting, something eternal. That's why it's taken time. Because things built to last must be built with care. You are not just being elevated. You are being established. There is a stirring in your soul because your spirit recognizes that the soil around you is shifting. You feel disconnected from the things that used to hold your attention. You find yourself craving depth, silence, truth. That's not burnout. That's evolution. You're evolving out of superficial spaces. You're being magnetized toward your purpose. You're becoming hyper-aware of what drains you and what energizes you. Trust this sensitivity. It's not weakness, it's spiritual intelligence. It's alerting you when something no longer belongs in your field. What's coming will require you to trust yourself in ways you never have before. You'll be asked to act on faith, to walk through doors without knowing what's on the other side. You'll be prompted to speak truth, even when it shakes your voice. To say no when you once said yes, just to please others. To choose alignment over approval, because this shift will not cater to your comfort. It will call forth your courage. You are being summoned. The universe is inviting you to rise. Not in theory, but in real life. In action. In intention. In the way you wake up every day and claim your space. NAs, things begin to accelerate. Be mindful of distractions disguised as opportunities. Not every open door is your door. Not every invitation is divine. The enemy of alignment is not always opposition. It's often imitation. Be discerning. Some things will look good but won't feel right. Some people will say all the right things but carry fragmented energy. Don't fall for appearances. Go inward. Your intuition is sharp right now. Don't doubt what you feel. If your spirit hesitates, honor that. Even if you can't explain why. Your body knows what your mind hasn't processed yet. NTHE massive shift that's coming will not ask you to become someone new. It will demand that you remember who you were before the world told you to be smaller. You're not discovering your power. You're returning to it. You're peeling away layers of conditioning, of shame, of fear, to reveal the raw brilliance that was always there. The version of you that dreamed fearlessly, loved deeply, trusted instinctively. This shift is trying to reawaken. Because the world doesn't need a polished persona. It needs your authentic fire. You may notice the past trying to resurface during this transition. Old patterns, old temptations, old doubts. That's normal. As you rise, the familiar will try to pull you back. Not because it's powerful, but because it's known. The unknown is scary. But growth requires it. You must break your loyalty to what broke you. You must release the need to explain your healing to those who only knew you in survival mode. Not everyone deserves access to your evolution. Some people are meant to witness the shift from a distance. Let them. You're stepping into a timeline where your voice will carry more weight. Your choices will ripple further. Your energy will influence more than you realize. That's why you're being cleansed. The shift isn't just preparing your path, it's preparing you. You're being purified. Old wounds are resurfacing not to punish you, but to heal them properly this time. You're being asked to forgive, not to free them, but to unshackle yourself. You're being asked to release, not to give up, but to create space for what's aligned. This is not weakness, it's wisdom. You are not fragile. You are not broken. You are sacred ground. And sacred ground is often hidden, protected, guarded. That's why your isolation has felt so heavy. You've been shielded. But not forever. The unveiling is coming. And when it does, the very things that tried to bury you will become the soil for your blooming. You are a seed that refused to die. And now, the sun is rising. The shift will push you into visibility. Your gifts, your story, your essence, they will all be placed on divine display. Not for attention, but for impact. There is a reason your heart beats faster when you imagine a better life. There is a reason your soul aches in places that no one else sees. It's because you were built for more, and the universe is echoing that truth back to you. This is not a delusion. This is destiny. You've waited, sacrificed, surrendered, and now the tide is turning. The season is shifting. The acceleration is beginning. You're not being teased with glimpses. You're being invited into fulfillment. It's time to say yes to the life you know you were created for. NBUT, you must stay ready. You must remain focused. The noise will try to shake you. Doubt will whisper that you're not ready. But you are. You've been trained by trials, sharpened by solitude, strengthened by surrender. You didn't come this far to play small. The time is now. The call is loud. The shift is near. And you are more than capable. You are chosen. You are seen. And very soon, you will be shifted. Chosen one, there's a new awareness opening up within you, a clarity that doesn't come from logic, but from alignment. It's the kind of knowing that isn't taught, but remembered. You're not just learning anymore, you're awakening. Your perception is being heightened, so you can discern what's real, what's illusion, and what's divine. You're seeing beyond the surface, feeling energy in rooms before words are spoken. This is not by accident. It's part of the shift. You're being equipped with higher sensitivity to navigate a more elevated path. You're being tuned to a frequency that detects truth at its core. This heightened awareness will make some environments feel heavier. What once felt normal might now feel off. Conversations may seem hollow. Certain routines may begin to feel like cages. That's because your spirit is rejecting what's out of alignment. You're evolving too rapidly to fit into the old containers. Don't ignore that feeling. It's sacred. It's guiding you toward expansion. As you ascend, some things will naturally fall away. Let them. Don't cling to the familiar just because it's comfortable. Safety is not the same as purpose. And the shift you're stepping into requires you to choose purpose every time. You'll start to notice more synchronicities, numbers repeating, dreams becoming vivid, songs playing at just the right moment, people reaching out exactly when you think of them. These are not coincidences. They're confirmations. The universe is speaking to you constantly, reaffirming that you're on the right path. These signs are breadcrumbs on the path of destiny. Follow them. Pay attention. Write them down. Don't brush them off as random. When you're chosen, nothing is random. Even your delays are divine. Even your silence has purpose. There's always a thread connecting your inner world to the unfolding of the outer. With this shift comes divine assistance. Help is on the way in ways you couldn't anticipate. People will show up with the exact resources, connections, or wisdom you need. You'll be drawn to spaces that feel unfamiliar, yet strangely like home. That's your soul remembering its mission. That's your future self guiding you. Stay open to new faces, new places, and unexpected offers. Sometimes your biggest breakthroughs won't look like miracles at first. They'll look like subtle nudges. Don't underestimate small beginnings. A quiet yes can open the loudest doors. And as you receive, don't forget that you're also the answer to someone else's prayer. You're not just being blessed, you are becoming a blessing. You've walked through the fire so you could carry light. You've known emptiness so you could recognize what's full. You've been silent so you could learn how to truly listen. Now as the shift accelerates, you'll begin to see how everything you endured has equipped you. Nothing was wasted. Not the pain, not the waiting, not the confusion. It all served a purpose. And that purpose is beginning to unfold before your eyes. There will be a moment, possibly soon, where everything changes in a single decision, a pivot point, a divine interruption, something that disrupts the rhythm of your life but brings you closer to your soul's truth. You won't be able to plan for it. You won't see it coming. But when it arrives, you'll recognize it. You'll feel a deep resonance. Your spirit will say yes before your mind can catch up. And in that moment, you must trust. Don't hesitate. Don't overthink. This is what you've been prepared for. The shift will not wait for your comfort. It will require your courage. You must walk boldly into the unknown, not because it's easy, but because it's yours. The path ahead may not be paved, but it will be powerful. Every step you take in faith creates a new reality. Every time you choose growth over fear, you shift the energy around you. That's the responsibility of the chosen, to carry the light even when the way isn't lit. But here's the secret. As you walk, the path appears. As you trust, the provision meets you. As you surrender, the alignment begins. And this journey isn't linear. It moves in spirals. You'll revisit old wounds just to find new strength. You'll face familiar fears with a deeper resolve. Don't be discouraged by the revisiting. It's not a setback. It's a higher level initiation. The same mountain you once climbed may appear again, but this time, you're carrying new tools. You're seeing from a higher vantage point. You're no longer the person who struggled to survive. You're the one who's ready to build, to lead, to transform. You've already proven your resilience. You've already survived what tried to break you. Now, this shift is about stepping into your power. It's about embodiment. It's about living in alignment so consistently that anything out of sync naturally falls away. It's about saying no to what doesn't resonate, even if it once felt like everything you wanted. This level of elevation comes with clarity. You no longer beg for crumbs because you realize you are always the feast. You don't chase approval because you know your worth is divine, not dependent. And yes, there will still be moments of doubt. There will still be triggers, fears, and quiet days when it feels like nothing is happening. But trust this, even in stillness, you are being shifted. The seeds you planted in private are breaking through the surface. The work you did in the shadows is ready to be seen. You didn't miss your moment. You've been becoming your moment. And very soon, you'll feel the full force of what's been building behind the veil. As the shift draws nearer, your discernment becomes more important than ever. You'll be shown doors, but not all of them are meant to be opened. Some are distractions cleverly disguised as progress. Some are tests to see if you'll still settle for less, just because it's available. The universe will test your readiness, not to withhold from you, but to see if you've truly integrated the lessons. This is the season of spiritual filtering. If you've been wondering why opportunities are showing up and disappearing, it's not because you're failing, it's because you're being refined. Only what matches your new frequency can remain. There may be moments when you feel like giving up. That's not a sign that you're on the wrong path. It's a signal that you're approaching the edge of transformation. The resistance gets strongest right before the release. The weight feels heaviest just before the breakthrough. But don't retreat. These pressure points are the contractions before rebirth. Let them pass through you. Let them strengthen you. Trust that the discomfort is a sacred indicator that something beautiful is forming. You're not falling apart. You're being expanded. Chosen one, it's okay to feel everything right now. The joy, the grief, the fear, the fire. You are not weak for feeling deeply. You are wired for depth. You are a vessel that carries frequencies others cannot. That's why you've always sensed things before they happened. That's why your energy feels heavy around chaos. That's why you can no longer fake smiles or force connections. You're too tuned in now, too aligned. This shift has recalibrated your system, and you can't go back to sleep. You've tasted what alignment feels like, and nothing else satisfies. This moment is a call to mastery. You're not just surviving anymore. You're not just dreaming. You're being asked to walk with intention, to speak with conviction, to move with clarity. That means no more entertaining situations that confuse your soul. No more half-hearted plans. No more dimming your light to fit in rooms that don't honor your brilliance. The massive shift is not just about what's changing around you. It's about how you change in response. The version of you that walks through this new door must be rooted, intentional, and unapologetically authentic. You're being pulled out of hiding. That cocoon season is coming to an end. The time of being unseen was never punishment. It was protection. You were being refined in quiet spaces so you wouldn't be destroyed by premature exposure. But now it's time to emerge, to step into visibility, to be seen, not for ego, but for purpose. Your story carries medicine. Your presence unlocks permission in others. Your resilience is a lighthouse. And the shift is going to place you where your light is needed most. And expect the unexpected. What's coming won't always follow logic. Doors you never knocked on will swing open. People you've never met will speak your name in rooms you didn't know existed. Delays will turn into sudden acceleration. Where you once felt overlooked, you'll suddenly become the center of alignment. This is divine reversal. The shift reverses the narrative. It restores what was lost. It redeems the time. What you thought was wasted will prove to be the foundation. Every tear you cried, every lonely night, every no that shattered you, it all mattered, and it all returns multiplied. You'll need courage in this season, not just for action, but for stillness. The courage to not rush, the courage to wait for what's meant, the courage to trust yourself even when the vision hasn't fully formed. That kind of inner strength is what elevates chosen ones. Not the loud declarations, but the quiet confidence, the knowing that you don't need to force what's already yours. You don't have to convince or compete. You are the energy. You are the answer. And the world is catching up to what you've already known deep inside. Then with this shift comes healing. Deep, generational healing. Wounds that ran through your bloodline are coming to a halt in you. Cycles of scarcity, fear, betrayal, they stop with you. You're not just being elevated for your own sake. You're a breaker of chains, a restorer of balance. The choices you're making in this season are rewriting the future for your family, your community, and for generations yet unborn. That's the power of your yes. That's the weight of your alignment. You've likely been sensing strange emotional waves, bursts of grief followed by moments of inexplicable peace. That's the shift cleansing you. You're releasing emotional residue you didn't even know you carried. Let it come up. Let it move through. Don't label it. Don't resist it. You don't need to fix every feeling. Just feel it. Healing doesn't always come with clarity. Sometimes it comes through chaos. But trust that the energy moving through you is purposeful. You are being emptied so you can be refilled. What's coming requires space, and that space is being made. You're becoming magnetic. As you align, your energy shifts. You begin to attract not just people, but outcomes, opportunities, abundance. It's not magic. It's resonance. You're operating at a new vibration, and everything meant for that level is on its way to you. That's why the people around you are shifting. That's why certain environments no longer feel safe. You're not being abandoned. You're being upgraded. This is your emergence. This is your turning point. And the shift won't just change your path. It will change who you are on the path. And as you move into the core of this shift, time itself may begin to feel different. Days might blur. Hours might stretch or vanish. This is not your imagination. When you are aligning with higher frequencies, your spirit begins to operate outside of linear time. What would have taken years now takes weeks. Healing that once seemed impossible happens in a single moment of release. Clarity comes faster. Connections come deeper. Everything accelerates because you are no longer resisting your path. You are flowing with it. You've surrendered your illusion of control, and now alignment is driving the wheel. This surrender is not passive. It's deeply powerful. It's the willingness to stand in the unknown and still choose trust. It's the decision to release timelines, to stop begging the universe for specifics, and instead move as if you're already supported. And you are. More than you can see. Energies are working on your behalf in the unseen. Angels walk ahead of you. The shift is not a solo mission. It's a divine orchestration, but you must continue to listen. Continue to feel. The more you quiet the noise, the louder your intuition becomes. That inner compass will never fail you if you honor it. In this new frequency, old forms of validation won't fulfill you anymore. Applause won't excite you like it used to. You'll crave authenticity over attention, depth over popularity. You'll stop performing and start aligning. And in that space, you'll begin to attract people who see your essence, not just your image. These are the ones who will walk with you in purpose. These are the ones whose presence feels like peace. This is your soul tribe, and they're being drawn to you as your frequency rises. Some are already watching you from a distance. Some are on the verge of entering. Stay open. You'll find that you're no longer reacting like you once did. Things that used to trigger you will start to feel neutral. Situations that would have broken you before will now barely shake your peace. That's growth. That's spiritual maturity. You are no longer led by ego or impulse. You've developed sacred emotional intelligence. You pause. You observe. You respond rather than react. This is the grace of the shift. It rewires your internal system so you can operate in your power rather than your pain. You're not repeating, you're elevating. This is the time to clean your space, both physically and energetically. Let go of anything that feels stagnant. Clean your environment. Declutter your digital world. Clear out your mental loops. If it doesn't support who you're becoming, it has no place in your life right now. The shift creates room for miracles, but only if you're willing to release what's outdated. Don't be afraid to close doors that no longer align. You're not being cruel, you're being clear. And clarity is the currency of this next season. You cannot manifest miracles in a fog of indecision. Be mindful of your energy. You're more sensitive than ever right now. Protect your peace. Don't over-explain yourself. Don't overextend your time. Don't justify your boundaries. The shift is not about proving. It's about protecting. You've earned the right to rest. You've earned the right to say no. You've earned the right to be selective. This level of discernment is not arrogance. It's sacred self-respect. You know who you are now. You know what your energy is worth. And from that place of knowing, you move with intention, not desperation. You'll begin to speak differently, think differently, move differently. It's not that you've changed. It's that you've returned to your true self, the version of you that existed before fear, before wounds, before conditioning, the real you. The soul led you. That version is now leading the way. And because of that, your presence will become disruptive to some. Not because you're doing anything wrong, but because your authenticity challenges their illusion. Don't shrink to make others feel safe. Let your light do what it was made to do. Reveal. There's no going back now. The shift has already started. And even if you tried to retreat to the old, it wouldn't feel the same. It wouldn't fit. That's the beauty of growth. It changes your appetite. You're not hungry for what used to feed you. You want substance. You want truth. You want connection. And all of that is coming. The more you align, the more you attract it. This isn't about forcing. This isn't about striving. It's about embodying. When you embody your truth, everything aligned with it gravitates toward you. You will be rewarded for your obedience, not just with material blessings, but with internal peace, with divine clarity, with relationships that feel like exhale, with opportunities that reflect your growth. And as you step into this new space, people will begin to notice. They'll feel your shift before they understand it. Some will be drawn in, some will fall away. Let both happen. Everyone has their role. Some are here for a chapter, some for the whole book. Honor them all, but don't let anyone keep you from turning the page. Your future is not waiting for you. It's moving toward you. With every aligned decision, you collapse time. With every act of faith, you call in the next chapter. You are co-creating in real time. You're not a spectator, you're a creator. And this shift is putting the pen back in your hand. No more writing stories based on fear. No more repeating chapters that you've already mastered. It's time to write something new, something bold, something divinely inspired, and you have everything you need to begin. You've come so far, not just in distance, but in depth. You've shed layers you never thought you'd release. You've broken through mindsets that tried to chain you to the old. You've watched things fall apart and still chose to believe something better was coming. That takes strength. That takes faith. And now, that faith is about to be rewarded. The massive shift isn't a distant promise anymore. It's near. It's pressing against the edges of your reality. It's building behind the scenes. And soon, it will break through the surface. Your only job now is to stay open, stay grounded, and stay ready. This readiness isn't about constant action. It's about internal posture. It's about being rooted in your truth, flexible in your movement, and unwavering in your belief that you are guided. You don't have to force doors to open. You don't have to perform to be chosen. You are already in alignment with a timeline that supports your soul. The people who are meant to be part of it will feel your frequency. The opportunities that are meant for you will resonate with your vibration. You are not chasing what you need. You're attracting it because of who you're becoming. And as you step forward, remember this: not everything will make sense right away. Some blessings will arrive wrapped in confusion. Some lessons will disguise themselves as delay. But trust the unfolding. Trust the divine intelligence that sees what you cannot. You didn't come here just to survive. You came to evolve, to rise, to walk as the fullest expression of who you are. The shift will strip you of what was never yours, but it will replace it with everything your soul has been longing for. Not just success, not just peace, but wholeness. Deep, fulfilling, undeniable wholeness. This is the season of becoming, of revealing, of embodiment. No more shrinking, no more second guessing, no more waiting for perfect conditions. The shift has made it clear. It's your time, even if it scares you. Even if you don't feel fully ready, do it anyway. Step forward with trembling hands if you must. Say yes to the call, even if your voice shakes. The moment you move in alignment, you activate every hidden resource you didn't even know you had. The universe rushes in when you walk in truth. Your courage creates momentum. Your alignment activates grace. Let yourself feel proud. You've endured silently. You've healed quietly. You've fought battles no one saw. And still, you stayed soft. Still, you remained open. Still, you hoped. That resilience is your superpower. That heart of yours, still beating with love despite the pain. It's a miracle. Don't downplay your journey. Don't underestimate the significance of your survival. The shift is not happening because you begged. It's happening because you're ready. Ready to receive. Ready to lead. Ready to be. This next chapter will require more authenticity than ever before. You won't be able to fake it. You won't be able to tolerate anything that feels misaligned. Your energy will become more refined. Your presence will carry more weight. And because of that, your boundaries will need to be stronger. Your vision will need to be sharper. Your words will need to be more intentional. You are not just stepping into favor, you're stepping into responsibility. With great light comes the need for deep roots, and you have those roots now. You've been growing them in the dark. NSO, don't be surprised when everything starts moving quickly. Don't resist the momentum when it builds. You won't always have time to prepare in the way you thought. The shift won't ask you to be perfect. It will ask you to be present, to respond when called, to leap when led. You'll know, you'll feel it, and when that moment comes, it's your job to trust that you've been made ready, even if your mind tries to argue otherwise. The body remembers what the soul already agreed to. This life, this mission, it's yours. And when it happens, when the shift fully arrives, you'll look back on this moment with awe. You'll see how every detour led you to destiny, how every no was sacred protection, how every pause was a setup for divine acceleration. You'll understand why you couldn't rush the process, because what's coming couldn't be built on shallow ground. It needed your depth, it needed your healing, it needed your wholeness. And now that you've done the inner work, the outer manifestation can finally catch up. NSO, breathe. Center yourself. Say thank you, even before it arrives. You are no longer waiting. You are aligning. The shift is not just coming, it is already here. And you, chosen one, were born for this moment, not because you were lucky, not because you earned it, but because your soul chose it long ago. And now, the world is about to witness the unveiling. Stay ready, stay aligned, stay lit, because everything is about to change.